so let's call the meeting to order. Agenda review and disposition. Any changes?
No changes.
Okay, we don't have privilege of the floor. Approval of the minutes, June 1st. Anybody see any corrections or changes that we need to make?
There was one real small one, I think it was, find it. Encumbered. Just there was a typo. The word encumbered wasn't spelled right. That's it. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to make the motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Seconded by?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Okay, great. Student report, we don't have that. Principal report.
Real brief, Madam Chair. We had a wonderful graduation. Weather was perfect. Class of 2021 were outstanding. Administrative crew did a remarkable job of bringing people in here and parking cars and taking care of people. So the reviews were excellent. Teachers finished up on 9, 10, 11 with the curriculum workshop that we were coordinating with the NEAUC. We will continue with that in the fall. Kylie Cap led the charge on that. Teachers held their own right to the end, the last 3 days. Today was the last teacher day, and we've already got a pretty good jump on the building. Boys have already closed down the third floor. I want to get that reopened again for our extended school learning, and it'll start as soon as we get back in July. So, great ending of school. Teachers did a marvelous job.
Thank you.
If a student has to make up credit, I'm assuming they take an abbreviated course type thing, do they pay for that?
No,
No.
there's no pay. Summer school starts, I think, July 5th. It goes on for 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So and the report cards will be mailed out tomorrow. Gloria and their staff did a wonderful job of that, so the mailing will go out tomorrow. And we've already started making contact with a ton of kids to tell them to get in here to get going.
Okay, great. Discussion items, COVID updates, summer, fall, preliminary plan.
So attached to your agendas, you'll see it's a much different looking plan for the fall. It's one page, which is a good sign in my opinion. I left it pretty broad, and we're bringing this to all of our boards, so if there's changes, I can just automatically implement whatever change there may be, since it comes so fast and furious as far as masks, changes, and spacing. I mean, it's week to week, so waiting really a month from board to board meeting is a little tough sometimes, especially when we have events. So basically, this says I'm going to follow our local health data and just our local health officials, as well as a Department of Health. We did not put in the CDC as well because it conflicts sometimes with the Department of Health. They've been pretty reasonable as far as progressively taking away some of the mitigation strategies. Right now, there's no cases in most of our towns, and no cases in RSAU as far as staff and students. I think Campton might have one, and then maybe Ashland. But other than that, they're all at 0. At this rate, we are not allowed to ask if people have been vaccinated, students or staff. So I don't want to create rules that restrict us or have us policing stuff like that. And I think we've talked about that the whole time. Sorry. So I'd more specifically like to recommend tonight to be in immediate effect is that masks are optional in all settings moving forward, as well as distancing requirements. So we can get a little bit back to normal making that decision now. We had no masks outside prior to, that was the recommendation that came down to, and we are bringing that recommendation forward everywhere. So and if something happens and we need to pull back a little bit, then we'll do so. But I think if we move forward with this, it would be really helpful. Any questions on that?
Do they take away the social distancing stuff? Is that less, or is that still in place? I don't remember.
So the distancing
Yeah.
is varied. They
Okay.
said anytime outside,
Right. but
none,
even
and then they do restrict it inside sometimes, but based on our data
Okay.
and based on access to vaccines, at the high school level, everyone has access if they would like it or not. And then I just find it a little bit more difficult, like you said, to police. They still have
Yeah.
contact tracing. I'm not sure if that's going to shift. So we will be mindful of that in the fall as we come back in for the distancing piece. But they changed the distancing requirements from 6 to 3.
That's what I thought, but I
But
couldn't
with a
remember.
mask, and so it will be optional for folks if they would like to still wear one.
So do you need a motion to approve the school guideline continuity?
I need the motion to approve the school guidelines, but I would really like to be specific to making masks optional immediately in all settings.
Where does it say that in here? I missed it.
It doesn't, that's why, it's, because since I've typed this up last week, it's changed more, so,
At
but
the state level?
well, at the local level too, with local data, yeah, yeah. So some schools, and to be honest, some districts have done this and some districts haven't, but there's been many districts that have moved to masks being optional in all settings as well.
So what are you looking for verbiage on that particular?
I'm looking for you to approve first the school guideline continuity of services as one motion, and then the second motion to approve, starting immediately, that masks are optional in all settings as a second motion.
So I
Okay,
made the first motion.
great.
And I'll second that first motion.
For the school guidelines.
Yep.
Continuity services, okay. First, seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, great, okay, and then this, Barbara, do you want to do the second
I'll do
motion?
the second one.
And I'll
Do you
second.
want to repeat it?
Yep, that masks are, what did I say?
Optional.
Masks are optional in all settings, starting immediately for everyone. I mean,
Second by Christie, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, board member concerns, or like, actually, sorry, other business, do we have anything other to add? No other, okay. Board member concerns? Anybody have any questions? Okay, privilege of the floor, we don't have. A motion to go into non-public.
Make a motion to go into non-public for the purpose of personnel.
Second.
All those in favor? Well, I'm gonna do individuals, sorry. Bernie, Sam said
Yes.
individual.